Yeah, no, totally killed him. You know, the other white guy, Pat. Yeah, no. They had me in the corner. They don't put no Nunnie in the corner. I had to kill him. He's on like 40 shows. We don't really need him. I know, right? He was kind of funny. It was funny. But I totally killed him. Put him in my basement. Yeah, no, I gotta do this show. I'm gonna call you.
This week, it's Nunnie's Corner at Movie Club. And what have we seen, Nunnie?
BlackKklansman. Loved it.
BlackKklansman.
That's right, sister.
For you, it's a crusade. For me, it's a job.
You're Jewish. That hatred, doesn't that piss you off?
You're taking this Jew lie detector test.
Why are you acting like you ain't got skin in the game?
I'm telling you, the wars are coming.
Black power! Black power!
Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
That's us, Stallworth brothers. We're on a roll, baby.
Welcome back. We got Nunnie on the
Yo.
couch this week, covering for Mop and for Pat.
Yes, I am.
They'll be back soon.
Because I'm back. I am happy to be back, and I'm happy to be back, and I'm talking about probably one of my favorite movies I've seen this summer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. I haven't seen many. Well, I can't say I haven't seen many great movies, but this is one of the favorites. I gotta go with.
You know what? I'm gonna say the same thing. Let's put it out there already.
We're on the same page.
This is one of the best movies I've seen this year by far. Forget the summer. Let's go for the whole year. Yeah, I was really excited about this movie just because I am a big Spike Lee fan.
Yeah.
I haven't seen all of his movies, but I've seen the hits. I absolutely
The ones that matter.
Yeah, you do the right thing. You got Malcolm X. This was just like a return to form for like that style of movie. Just really energetic, but having a lot to say, and then just packing it all in.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. It definitely was like a return to just greatness for him, and I think the fact that he got so much critical acclaim from before he even came out with the movie, before I even heard about it, they said Spike Lee's new movie BlackKklansman, which actually caught me off guard so much. When I first heard it, I was like, "This Spike going crazy?" I really thought he was going crazy. I'm like, "Is he making a movie about?" So then just the name intrigued me, and I got it. Then once I seen the trailer, and it's first of all, it's starring the great Denzel's son,
John David Washington.
Yes, it's as somebody came from Denzel's, ball sack, is gonna be a great actor, and he's actually really great in this movie. And he's also in another show which I actually watch, is Ballers. And fun fact about him, he actually played professional football, so acting wasn't even his first choice.
No way.
And he also was a producer on Book of Eli.
No way.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen Book of Eli. Should I check it out?
You know what? You should. I mean, if you got some free time.
All right, I do like Denzel. I think a big driving force behind this movie was Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
I think him making Get Out for Blumhouse, which also produced this movie, was probably a big thing for like, all right, I want to give Spike another hit because he fell kind of short with Chirac.
Very short.
Yeah, he hasn't had like a big, popular movie that's like hot on everybody's tongue in a long time. And, it was cool for Jordan to let Spike do his thing.
Yeah.
And, there's very much, a straightforward genre flick in there. But it's also, as you mentioned to me before, just like Spike being Spike.
Oh yeah, no, it's
time.
Spike would have these. He had. All right, remember, and all right, let's get into the movie real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Let's.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about is the toad. When every time they talked about like a black person, they called him a toad.
Yeah.
I never knew that was a thing until that movie. I was like, oh, they call him the criminal's toad. And then when the second black guy came around, when they looked out for the second one, and his attitude changed, I was like, oh, he means black people, they're the toads. And I was like, I never knew that was a thing. And then it made me realize, it's like, what other racial slurs do they have for black people? Like toad is like, is it because it's like, if it's like a New Orleans thing and it's like because we're like swamp creatures or something? Like I did not understand what like I get porch monkey, I get the whole thing, I get certain things so somebody explain it to me, but like toad, if somebody can explain that to me in the comments, please do. But no, hit me up privately because I don't want you to get hurt.
Right. We want a vibrant comment section. We don't want a angry fighting one.
Yes,
too.
we don't want the mob.
No, but I think it's a good place to start just because, you know, at the start of the movie, that is, John David playing Ron Stallworth, the real life Ron Stallworth, because this is a true story. Starting out just like as a cop, rookie cop, just going through the files, just like doing everybody's, everybody's work for them. And, but but I think before that, I really want to start with something that I thought was a really cool way to start the movie, which was the Alec Baldwin.
Oh yeah.
Thing. That I knew that was coming, and I was so knocked out by how actually good it was, because it's actually Spike just literally projecting.
Words
white racism, the history of white racism onto an old white guy. And I thought that was a really cool way to start off.
All Turexian
all Tourette's,
just Tourette's was just hit.
Yeah. Well, we made it this far. And then him getting into detective work and him going into the Black Power meetings and stuff like that. There are parts that I thought went slow, but for the most part, the stuff that took a long time, he made it purposeful. He had stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff was I don't know, which theater did you go to see it?
I went to one in Chelsea on 23rd because shout out to MoviePass for letting that be the only theater I can see it in.
No way.
It was because it had the e-ticket, which was actually pretty good because. With the e-ticket, I can actually get my seat.
Yeah.
So I don't have to rush and be there an hour and try to get whatever seats are left.
Yeah.
So
every now and then MoviePass pulls through, but
yes,
they
pulled through this week, not last week.
Check out the vlog, you'll see.
I couldn't even see Christopher Robinson, and I wanted to see it. I'm gonna see it though. It's actually on MoviePass now.
Yeah. We did an episode about that last week.
I know, but I wasn't. Guys, I was gone. I was in LA. My bad.
So he had an excuse. You'll love it. You'll cry. I checked it out up on Upper East Side on 86 at AMC Lowe's. It was 10 o'clock on a Sunday, and so it was pretty well attended, and energy was going all the way throughout, and people were laughing at the just the calls that were being made, and especially at the end. I mean, I don't want to spoil it too much, but there was a lot of people reacting to the shock of the whole thing, but people were just from beginning to end there was applause afterwards. I was really glad that people were hooked onto it because it was a long movie. It was 130 minutes.
It was, and my theater was a little bit different than yours. I actually went around the same time.
Yeah,
it's packed. I didn't know the theater at Chelsea also had recliners. That was a nice surprise.
Oh man.
I definitely got real comfortable. Got too comfortable. Took my shoes off and everything.
Too comfortable?
Too comfortable.
I hope you washed your feet.
I did.
Okay, good.
Me going into it, it was there were some jokes and some things that were said. I can tell the guy next to me, who was a white man, was very uncomfortable to laugh or say anything because I was right next to him.
Yeah.
And I'm just dude, it's a movie. If you feel like something funny, I'm not gonna look at you like this. Hey, dude, I get it. You might find something funny and what this is, but just understand, come away with something of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just don't be like, haha, those pack rats. It's
yeah.
And the thing that also really discouraged me about the experience of doing and being in the movie was that there weren't that many black people to go see the movie, and that's the thing. I feel like black people as a whole, when it comes to certain movies, we were out for Black Panther. Which it made sense. It was a positive movie and it looked good on black. But also, this movie is also a thing about our history, a true story, and it's actually funny and it's a good movie. And it made $10 million in the box office for the weekend.
It was made for $15 million. It's made $15 million currently.
Okay, so it pretty much it did well. But it's gonna do more, of course. But it's certain times I know for a fact that I have friends that go, dude, I don't want to go see that. I don't feel like dealing with another slave movie. It's not another slave movie. It's not another movie about racism. It's actually a very triumphant movie about catching a W in a place where you don't feel like you can actually win.
Sure.
And I felt like that's how I felt, but I just felt uncomfortable because the person next to me felt uncomfortable because I was there. And then I also at the end of the movie, I'm looking around, I'm like, damn, where the black folk at? It was like another couple. It was just me, my own girl Shireen. Shout out to Shireen, she went to movies with me. It was just another black couple, and I'm just like, damn, do I got to see this in Harlem or something? And I was afraid to even see anything because I don't think nobody would I think everybody went to go see the Meg. That's what I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Meg yet. I
will go see it though. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm thinking about it. I do like a shark movie. Yeah, I mean, I saw it where I saw it. It was, you know, pretty solid mix.
Yeah.
I, you know, definitely. I was thinking about going to see it in Harlem just because that's where I saw Boo Medea Halloween like a couple weeks ago, and that was a fun time. That really was a fun time.
I wish I was there. I know that was a fun time.
No, but like I also was thinking about like, well, I also don't want to be like the 20th white person to have that idea and then go to Harlem and then it's just full of white people in Harlem. I don't know, like, but you know, I think that it's definitely you know, a movie that, you know, as I just want as many people to see as possible because, you know, it's clearly a movie that, you know, black people want to see.
Yeah.
You know, well-meaning white people want to see, like, and just like, and that like is, you know, a solid, because I mean, I know a lot of people who are hyped on this movie.
Yeah.
And it's good to see people that are hyped on this and Panther and Sorry to Bother You all in 1 year. Like, it's, you know, we see like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like what's, you know, been hits, and I feel like I just hope that, you know, that we continue that, you know, recurrence.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to mean that we get like, you know, a thing where studios are like, oh, we gotta do the same.
Yeah,
thing
same
like,
format.
same black movie.
They do that. They definitely do that.
Yeah.
I definitely there was definitely a spur, especially like in the 2000s. There was like a spur, like the same kind of movies, and it was just the worst. But
like which ones?
Like Blue Street was definitely just like the movie Metro, which is what Eddie Murphy was with Metro.
Yeah.
And then Blue Street was with Martin Lawrence. They were pretty much the same concept of a movie of being a cop and being like a funny, witty cop. But one wasn't a cop, one was, but it was still like a cop movie, but it still felt the same.
Sure.
Yeah, but I want to get into something else real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we're going to be able to, like, I don't know how, you know, studios are thinking, oh, we got to do like another like BlackKklansman style movie, because it's such a strange story, and like such a strange story that even like Spike didn't believe that it was real, like when he started getting into it. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an anomaly just in terms of movies that have come out this year, and also like in Spike's career. And you know, it's I think, you know, just in terms of like the aesthetics, I love, you know, the way they set up the whatchamacallit, the speaker at the beginning, like that 10-minute long sequence was just, you know, so well set up and just like well costumed. The details are really good in this movie.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Also, I love the speech. I love the speech by what was it? I forgot his name. Jeez, I think it was Kwame
Tura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his speech in the beginning is like, it was like a really good one, but at the same time, it could be really interpreted differently. And from that, I think that speech actually definitely, especially with the black characters, made them think and go about things differently.
Yeah.
You know, like remember the two other side characters, you see them around, they were friends with Patrice.
Yeah, yeah.
They were very much about like picking up arms and ready to fight right now, today. Ron Star Wars was like, no, chill, you're wildin'. And then Patrice was all about people, power to all people.
Sure.
So everybody had a different agenda.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which was, I think, was an amazing just idea, just to go off that speech. And like, I didn't realize I didn't pay attention to that until just now. It just literally hit me how that went, because what you just said. I was like, oh, wait.
Spike's been about like presenting like different agendas. Like he's always been about finding, I feel like, has a long time have found like the good in some groups, like like Do the Right Thing. There's a really awful cop, but then there's the cop who's trying to stop him and stuff like that. And I remember hearing that Boots Riley was like, apparently I just heard a blurb about this and need to like confirm it, but like apparently Boots was just like, you know, why would you make, you know, cops, you know, heroes in your movie? And I'm like, well, I understand like where he's coming from with that, but also that's just also how Spike operates.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he's, you know, definitely, he's all about having a lot of, you know, nuance and having there can be conflicting stuff going on.
I want to get into something that was very to me, it kind of made my skin cringe, but in a I got to say this in a good way.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want in my movies, to make me feel something or make me feel a way about it. The normalization of how like they would talk about like just trying to kill and exterminate, you know, different races like, you know, blacks and Latinos and Asian. I was just like, damn, like it's just a realization of like these people really spoke and feel this way, and there's people even today that feel this way still.
Yeah.
You know, it just kind of makes you go like, damn, like I need to like not be naive and but also not be hateful myself, and you know, kind of go about everything with a positive outlook and just not just like, oh, you hate me, I hate you too, because that's what happens a lot in that movie as well.
Sure.
On both sides, there's a lot of hate.
Sure, absolutely. And you know, I think it was important for Spike, you know, because he wrote his own draft of this movie. It's you know, it's his movie through and through. It was clearly very important for him to, you know, make you remember that the same exact thing that happened before is happening. That's why all the dialogue that you hear in this movie is the same rhetoric you hear now. And you know, that's why the footage he uses at the end, you know, is so powerful.
It is.
And let's get a little bit deeper with that. But first, we're gonna go into critical analysis, and then we want to show you a clip from one of Spike's older and really more controversial movies, because I really think that we should talk about that in relation to this movie we got here. So here we go, critical analysis.
Let's go.
What's dope? Man-Tan, the new millennium minstrel show.
We're gonna need a little more money for this.
This could be bigger than Friends, Ally McBeal, even my boys Amos and Andy.
Damn.
You're putting white actors in blackface?
We're using black actors with blacker faces.
Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood.
Show.
This fall.
Right on, man.
Yeah, great show.
You won't believe what's coming.
So that was a clip from Bamboozled, which came out in 2000. You said you'd seen it before, right?
Yeah, I seen it when I was younger.
Yeah.
It came out in 2000, right?
Like exactly in 2000.
So I was like 13, 12. So I wasn't that young, but
yeah,
it's like a hard remember. But I definitely need to look it over again, especially after watching BlackKklansman.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of watching it now. I haven't finished it. I mean, it's again like Spike's movies, like they're exhausting, and B, like they you know they're long as hell, and I'm just like I only have so much time. I gotta compartmentalize my time. No, I mean like it's astounding from what I've seen so far. It is astounding not just in terms of how ahead of its time it was, and in terms of its like satire or whatever, but because of that it even got made at all. Like, I mean, I can not even possibly see it like I've it played at BAM about a year or two ago, and like that I feel like it can only like play like once in a blue moon, like in the right context. Like I mean it's definitely a movie that would shock people, but from what I've seen, it's absolutely a movie that people should watch because it's about, as you can see there, black actors being hired to do minstrelsy, and it's all about putting it back onto the audience and like making it, holding up a mirror and being like, this is, what you want. This is what you want to see, like in black comics or in black actors and stuff like that.
You want to know something crazy? You know, a lot of people in my neighborhood, I'm from Rockaway, Queens, if nobody knew. In my neighborhood, a lot of people didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, of course, kids they didn't care about it at the time. But adults around me didn't like it, and they didn't care for it. And because they didn't like the name of it, and they didn't like the trailer, all types of stupidness.
Sure.
Which is cool, but then, as I got older and as everyone else around me got older, it's definitely a piece that you need to see as an adult, and also look at in today's world about how it still holds up to today.
Sure.
It's actually one of those pieces that you say, I don't know how it got made, but Spike was on a roll in the 90s.
Sure.
He was kind of going down a little bit, but he still was spiking. It's just like, I was like, who greenlit this? Somebody was like, you know what, I feel like it was like the last homage of like, just like great pieces that came out in the 90s of like black films and stuff. And in the 2000s, of course, they pretty much sucked. Early 2000s to me.
I mean, I feel like that was, the last, I think, maybe for a while of Spike just like allowed to do his own thing.
Yeah.
Because after a while, like he started to do a lot of that work for hire stuff and do more of the docs. The docs were where he started to really,
really
it'd be
find his niche.
Yeah,
But he's been doing docs for a while on the low.
Yeah.
Like, I like the Kobe Bryant doc. He
That's
also
a good
did
one.
Kings of Comedy. It was a good doc. But there was a movie that I really loved that he did was She Hates Me.
I haven't seen that one yet.
I love that movie, dude. And it's very Spike Lee. I think it's my favorite, my last, outside of BlackKklansman, that was probably like my last favorite. Red Hook
right?
Summer wasn't really that great to me. Chirac was
alright, yeah.
but his docs were definitely good. Like his docs in that movie.
Yeah.
And I give Inside Man too. I like Inside Man.
Inside Man's good. No,
it just wasn't really Spike Lee yet.
No, it was, but he was able to do a procedure, formula movie really well. Yeah, I love the MJ docs that he's done. But I thought there was like something else of his that I just blew my mind completely.
We talking about the 30 for 30?
Yeah, we did the 30 for 30. Yeah, I mean, long story short, Spike's just done a lot. Spike's done work for
I would
decades.
like Spike to have an Oscar though before he goes. It's it's funny.
They gave him that. They threw him that honorary one.
I know,
and he looked great. Receiving it. He had like the gold Jordans and stuff like that. But I want to see him during the ceremony get something.
Yeah, me too. I think this year, I think he does have a chance to get like nominated for Best Director, but I don't really see him winning this year. It's so far like the movies that are out indie-wise and the ones that are coming out later on this year. Like I seen the trailer for Green Book with Viggo. What's the guy? It was Viggo. Yes, and Mashawn Ali.
Yeah,
they're both in it. And the movie's about. I'm gonna keep it quick. It's a true story or a true friendship. Viggo's son is an Italian guy driving Mashawn Ali around like the deep south, and he's like a smart pianist. And both of them are acting like the trailer looks great. They're both acting their butts off,
right.
And I'm just loving it. And I'm just like, oh, this could be an Oscar. And then there's also like all these other movies coming out. So if it was up to me, I would love BlackKklansman to at least get nominated for Best Movie, maybe Best Director, even give John David Washington a nod.
Yeah, like what? I would love to see that. Like, what'd you think though of like seeing like were you familiar at all with like the Birth of a Nation stuff or the Gone with the Wind clips that they shot at the beginning?
So the Birth of a Nation I've heard, and then I knew the movie that came out recently, Birth of a Nation.
The Nate Parker one, yeah.
Yeah. But that was actually a real like surprise. I was like, I've heard of this, but I forgot. And for me, it was like a rude awakening, like a slap in the face, like, oh nah, this is some real like racist stuff you about to see. I'm like,
yeah.
And then like to see that, and then to see them like literally cheering.
Yeah.
It definitely was just like, remember that I told you like stuff that made my skin crawl?
Yeah.
That was one of those moments I was just like, get a little angry and stuff, but I was like, it's just a movie. Just
tie back that into Bamboozle. That movie ends with a 3-minute montage of just blackface, just like all through. And Birth of a Nation is just like you see like how they're reacting to it. Like it's just like
It's like they about to scare it. About to scare a little. They about to scare a little.
This movie that was made 60 years before, and just like latching onto this this past. I mean, it's like the same way that people who are conservatives are just like make America great again. Like they're holding on to this anger from the past, and holding on to it and just churning it out in an ugly way that they can make happen contemporarily.
Speaking of make America great again, there was a line, a line in the movie. I'm gonna spoil this for you guys because I just want to talk about it for a little bit. There's a scene where Ron Starworth is talking to his sergeant.
Yeah.
And he's like the whole plan of David Duke, which was Topher Grace. Was the whole thing. His idea was to have someone with his ideals in the White House.
Yeah.
And Ron Starworth, said that would never happen. He says, really? And then there's like this eerie silence of like 2 seconds, which felt like a lifetime. And we're like, oh wait, it is happening now.
Yeah.
With Trump, and it's just like it's so crazy. It's not really crazy because obviously,
sure,
he put it in there for that reason. But to think like, that was something that was really true and it actually came to fruition today. And it's like it makes you think like, you got to be careful, and you can't just like let people just run wild and like, oh,
sure,
it's all right, he ain't gonna do nothing. Oh, it's nothing. That's what we did that whole election.
Yeah.
Where Trump like he ain't gonna win.
Yeah.
He not gonna win. Well, he might win.
Yeah.
Holy crap, he won.
Yeah.
And now we're like in the age of just like straight hate.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much hate.
Absolutely. Like there's that scene. Don't forget, there's also that scene in the movie where, Ron is gonna meet with that FBI guy, and he, the guy's like, oh yeah, a couple of these Klans members are like, you know, people like in the bureau and stuff like that. So it, you know, it's all been there. It's all been there. It's just got amplified.
We could talk about this all day, but we're running out of time. So I guess we're going to do our nonsense.
But first, I just want to say though, before we get to nonsense scores, the casting of Topher Grace is a really powerful choice.
It is.
Because, you know, I mean, you know, people will remember him as Eric Foreman from That 70s Show, but it's also, you know, great just because Topher Grace is just a bland guy. He's not a great actor, he's not a bad actor, he's just there. And that is a perfect form of casting for David Duke, where it's just somebody who is just like really this model for hate, but he just slips in with everybody else.
The casting was actually perfect. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Like, from Adam Drivers to everyone, it was just, everyone was great.
Guy played Walter. I thought was like the guy from the first Terminator, and it wasn't. Like he's just like this like Scandinavian dude that looks like him. But good for him for looking like Michael Biehn.
Yes.
All right. So I didn't mean to cut you off before, but nonsense score. Let's do it.
Nonsense score. I'm gonna have to go with this movie and give it 2 sweaty armpits because it is hot as balls in here, and that movie was great. But I give it 2 sweaty armpits and a tank lick.
I guess we can say that.
Yeah, we could. I found ways.
I'm gonna give this movie 10 canceled MoviePass subscriptions, and also I don't know. That's it. So we're definitely. I mean, this is gonna be our last. I think it's gonna be our last new movie for like a few weeks.
Yes, we got to take a hiatus.
We're reformatting Movie Club. We got coming up in the next couple of weeks a new format that we are excited to share with you. Don't want to share too many details yet, but it's gonna be a lot more focused. There's gonna be some older movies, but they're classics that you love. Nothing. We're not gonna do Birth of a Nation. I'm not gonna watch that whole movie.
I could watch it.
But it's good. Hopefully it's gonna be a fun time. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Nunnie, what is that?
It's a Naruto headband. It's a Hidden Leaf Village headband. I love it.
Awesome. Where can they find you?
Oh, you guys can find me on Nunnie20, NUNNIE20. Follow me anytime. I will not follow you back because I am a douchebag.
You working on anything that people should look out for?
Yeah, I've been doing these short films that I have from the company I work with, Everyday People. So I've been having all this great footage. So I've been like doing these little, very short films. Nice. So that's gonna be my new thing, doing very short films that only last like 10, 15 seconds.
Cool. We'll link that. You can find me at 80s Tom Hanks, 80s_Tom Hanks. You can come out to St. Vitus on Sunday. We're going to be doing Nobodies, who are a drag troupe. They're going to be doing Nobody's Watching SummerSlam. They're gonna drag it. They're gonna do it in full drag, and then it's gonna be a lot of fun. $5 cover. From all of us at Much Obliged Studios, because we're happy to have you.
Yeah.
It's been Movie Club. Say goodbye, Nunnie.
I am goodbye, so I'm gonna go back to my corner now. No, I'm not, because Pat's gone. See you later.